Hi, welcome to 2020 Tasty Treats with GourmetQuilter. I'm Susan Clare, GourmetQuilter, and we're having a whole lot of fun using some leftovers that we've set up in our Leftovers Pantry. We've got drawers, containers, bags, whatever it is that we've got, labelled with our strips and squares and things inside, so that we can use things that have been left over from other projects. So we're going to be working this time. There's 20 parts to this series and we're on to part 14. So we're doing really well. In an earlier part, part 8, we made some units, the half square triangle units, and we made a whole variety of different sizes. I've got a whole lot of different ones here. And this time we're just going to talk about some of the things that you can do with those units. So it's a fun unit. It's very, very versatile. There's a huge amount you can do with just a half square triangle unit repeated. The same size. There's a quilt here that's made just using half square triangles, multiple colours, so ideal for coming out of our leftovers, because it doesn't all have to be the same. It doesn't even have to be on a theme. This one is a little bit on a blue theme, particularly helped by the border, but it can be multicoloured or it could be whatever you want it to be. So I've just put together some suggested layout ideas of using just half square triangles like that. So as we can see in this quilt here, this one here is just the half square triangles all facing the same way with a half light and half dark. We can then just turn some of these around. So if I just have a little look at this second one, where we're kind of making it into more of a square rather than just a repeat on here. So all we have to do that, and hopefully I can do this when I'm upside down, is to make this little center area here, because I've only got a few of the squares here. We're just going to turn those so that they come down and they can make that nice little column there, and we can start turning them out. I'm going to get this in a mess. So that would be our central square, and we would start coming out the other way. If you can just see that little top section is just starting to happen here. We've got these triangles and then they're going to go out the center there, and then these would stay, and then these ones are going to come that way, etc. And then obviously if we're going to do this one, well, we can just continue repeating here. We can obviously go along and just make rows of those sort of pyramid type triangle pairs. This one here is very much the same sort of thing, except that we're just turning the units round to end up making these diagonal rows that can be formed. The beauty of these half and half patterns, any block that's a half and half pattern, really works so well for this sort of thing, because you can just create lines. As you can see, we've got some diagonal coloured lines going on there, and you can create the centre unit so that they come around. You can have it off centre, or you can kind of create some zigzags. You can have some really creative fun. What more could you want? So that was just some ideas using the same size repeated half square triangles. And then on the next page, I've gone ahead and I've just picked out, there's so much you can do, as I said, lots of traditional blocks, lots of all sorts of things. So you can make something as simple as, and I've got a small one up here, a little pinwheel, and if you alternate the pinwheel with an empty square, then you end up with this sort of nice chain thing going on here, which is really kind of fun. And again, it could be one colour, it could be lots of colours, as long as you've got some contrast so that you can see your little pinwheel and it joins on and makes the little chain. And while we're up here, we'll have a little look at this one here. So this is again a traditional block. These are not joined, these 4 units, however they would be to make the block. And it's, I think, commonly known as flock of geese, this little block. And it's kind of fun because it's just half square triangles again in 2 sizes. So 2 larger ones and 4 smaller ones and 4 smaller ones there. And joined up, that would fit an alternate block as well if you wanted it to do something like that. So as you can see, this is real playtime. So I'll just move these out of the way and I'll just show you another little idea that's sitting here that I've got all ready to go here. So if we were going to make something like this block here, which is commonly known as a shoe fly, curious names, I'm always intrigued by the names that were given to some of these early blocks. So I'll just pop this one out as if it was the block. It's one of my most favourite blocks, this one. I've always enjoyed this little block. Again, great for little scrappy, using up leftovers type quilts. So this is our little shoe fly block, and again, if you alternate it with this a plain block, it can look really nice in all sorts of colours, where even the alternate square can be lots of different colours and things as well. It can just look amazing. And then for another idea, and probably our final idea at this stage, would be to do this one here. So we've kind of got all the makings here. So this is where a lot of the fun comes about, because we can make that one, but really we've got all the parts we need to make this little friendship star. Because all we need to do is swap a few pieces out here, just bring these pieces around, and all of a sudden, same pieces, we've got a little friendship star going on here. So I just wanted to show you how versatile something as simple as a single unit like a half square triangle can be. Of course, it can be combined with lots of other things, and we're going to talk about that another time. But to just use half square triangles and maybe the occasional square or an alternate square against a block can just use up so many of our leftovers. We don't really need to have anything else if we don't want to. If we like making half square triangles, let's make lots of half square triangles, because we can just make so many different quilts. As you can see, we can have them as stars, as little shoe flies, pinwheels, lines, triangles, almost anything you can imagine. So that was just some ideas using unit number 4, which is the half square triangle unit that we've been making from our pantry. As I said, I've got lots of different size ones here, and it can apply whichever way you go. We can make tiny little pinwheels if that's what you'd like to do, and I can never do a pinwheel on the fly. But oh, and we need one more. I wonder where the other one is. But you can just have so much fun with all the leftovers. So many of these half square triangles come because we've cut them from some of the other units as well. So we get an abundance of these, and why not use them up? There's so much that can be done with them. So that was it for part 14 of the Leftovers Pantry, ideas using the half square triangle, and I will see you again with part 15.